This is the official soundtrack of Culture Philippines. I am Claire Prima, and I'm Melissa. So we're advocates of Culture Rescue. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Anna and Claire. Fun fact, Anna actually wrote the song. Can you give them a warm round of applause? It's so nice that you also showed us the lyrics, because the lyrics are so nice. And it's a very good reminder for us. It's on a Monday morning to Sandal lang. But the week is still long. So Sandal lang the title. Anyway, good morning, our media partners. Good morning to our media partners and audience in Zoom. Hello, good morning. And of course, our Culture Rescue Philippines family. Good morning. I'm Aya Fernandez. I'll be your host for this morning. I'm also a Culture Rescue Philippines advocate of host and volunteer. The Culture Rescue Philippines has always been dedicated with its mission to raise awareness, to rescue our victims, most especially now. And of course, this morning, most especially with our message of our media launch, the recovery of our survivors. So now we're very excited to share with you our launch of the very first movie and film to be produced by Culture Rescue Philippines, Graduation. Palakpakan naman dyan. I'm very, very excited for this day. We all know the impact of social media and the media industry in general. And so Culture Rescue Philippines saw that opportunity to maximize its platform. Of course, with the kind of family and talents that we have inside. Not only talents artistically, but also the way we do it in the holistic recovery of our survivors. And through this short film, we really hope to spread awareness of trafficking and abuse in the Philippines. We will learn more about it as we go further along with our program, but to kick off this event, may I call on Faye, our operations head, to lead us in prayer. Okay. Maybe I'll stand for the prayer. We ask the Lord Jesus to bow our heads and pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the new day and week. Thank you for letting us start this day in your presence. We praise you for who you are and what you will do for us as we gather here today. We ask for your guidance. Help us to engage in a meaningful way. May you be the center of everything we will do today. Give back all the glory to you. Thank you. We can have you seated. And before we officially begin, let's hear from our advocacy head, Abby Anshano, on how working on the project has been for Culture Rescue and then more exciting things they are up to for the next months.
Hi everyone, good morning. Hello, I'm Admin Channel and I'm the advocacy head for Culture Rescue. So first of all, we just want to thank everyone here, those who are present online, and of course those who are here with us at this venue. The fact that you're here, whether online or on-site, shows that you are a supporter of the cause. also of the project that we are launching today. And so, just like face prayer, our goal really here is to give back the glory to Him. And so, as you may know, we are already at the last few months of the year, and this project was really part of our plan when we started to, prepare as an organization, as culturists here at the start of the year. We saw the opportunity given to us to produce this, and it's really made done because of the support of the team, the board, our sponsors, our partners, our team, the production, of course, the cast. And so really the gathering is to honor them, pick them, but ultimately the one who made all of these possible. And so we have much more exciting things up for culturists. We hope that you will stay tuned as we release this on social media platforms that are very rampant, like Facebook, Instagram. So please stay tuned for that. And then we will also be having a couple of campaigns in the next few months. But as we focus on this event, we would actually like to show the BTS prepared by our executive producer. So without much ado, let's watch this video.
We had we had no plans of doing this project, but sometimes you meet people who give birth to projects, and that's what happened here.
Yun lang yung sagot para maghilom tayo. Is mahalin natin yung isa't isa. And patawarin natin yung isa't isa.
Anti-human trafficking has been something close to my heart. It's nice that I get to be a part somehow of that awareness.
Most of the issues around human trafficking usually involve like the rescue, but an unsung aspect of it involves reintegration. The words of kindness and the support system that you have, that could mean the world to someone, and so that's what the film is about.
Graduation!
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 We had no
Goosebumps, right? Graduation, it's the end, but it's also the beginning. If we usually when we watch on media, what films do you know where there is human trafficking involved in the plot? Diba, Taken, diba, Ang Probinsyano. What is the common theme that we usually notice? It's focused on the action, on the rescuing part. Now, today, and with this film, together with the cast, we will show you the glimpse or also discuss and put emphasis on the recovery phase as well, on how we can be of help as a community to our survivors. Without further ado, please help me welcome our cast and our producers of this film. First, let me call on our co-executive producers, Tita Anthony Pangilinan, our executive producer. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Yep. All right. Next, let us call on the co-executive producer, Hannah Pangilinan. our international director who we worked with for this film, Director Dean Marshall. His role as Stover, our Tita's Kuya, Donny, Pangilinan. Of course, Vegas. At Tika, our Cinemalaya actress, Nourijune. And thank you so much, guys. You can have your seat. Be comfy. And before we begin and get a little more about the short film, quick reminder to our press, our media friends and family here. Our cast here have a lot of exciting projects, not only that involve Small to Rescue Philippines, but we really believe and we are really excited about this project. And so I hope, oh, good morning, Creative. We're just in time and we'd like to request that let's focus all our questions and our conversations and chika about this project. It's really, really, really amazing. So don't also forget to have a digital beside you. You might be super touched with what we have here. So yeah, okay, let's begin. Media friends, you may ask your questions to our guests.
Yeah, Los Angeles. Los Angeles, the International President of Congress. Like something, everybody full time there. People online.
Yes.
So about people online.
We know what Donny is capable of, and we've watched him in a lot of your projects. What makes this project different for you? What makes it special?
Well, first of all, hi Tito. Thanks for coming. I think what makes it very special is, well, it's been close to our hearts ever since, when we were children and the Water Rescue initiative all started. We were all a part of it, and it's been something I've really kept close to my heart. It's an advocacy I believe, that is very much needed, especially today. And the awareness is needed and it's growing. So I think it's very timely to have a short film that tackles this incredibly enormous issue in which a lot of people are maybe not so educated about how big it actually is, human trafficking and the impact it has, the negative impact it has on society or in people, the ones who are abused, just everyone in general, the families. So when Dean accepted to direct this project and alongside Laura, for me it was just like something I didn't even think twice about. When my dad told me, I was like, let's do it. I'm not even gonna, let's just find a schedule and let's make sure that, we come up with something that will hopefully move people and, gear them towards hopefully helping this advocacy or just helping out those who are abused and who need a voice, Yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing that's different with this is I specifically chose to do it. And I really believe that it deserves so much attention. And we're very far from where we want to be still, but we are glad that there's something being.
Can I extend a question to Ian? And yes, what's different about this project?
I think when you first approached me about this project, part of what made it appealing to me was the organization's focus on
reintegration and how support system can really make a difference in a person's life. And something that I think, I drew on, or drew on, Donnie drew on for this short film was our relationship with our sister. For me in writing the script, I really tried to draw from the strength and the support that my own sister gives me. And I think that we found each of our personal connections to the material to really bring our own soul to the book.
Hi, Paul. Thank you. How is it different from what I've done before? It's really important work. And I'm just very thankful that I had this opportunity because Lesser Anthony, Dean, and Donny, everybody was so collaborative. And I guess the way we communicated in this project was very clear and open, and there was a lot of trust involved. And it's very refreshing also. And really. Thank you so much, Don, and you mentioned the connection of you guys with the material. Maybe while waiting for our media friends, other questions, can you run us through with your preparation as well for the film? How you put further with the connection that you have with the material?
Well, like being said, we do a lot from our siblings because Noor and I are siblings here in short film, and I was just imagining my own sister if something happened to her, or if like she went through a certain experience that, that's what I would have been like life changing in a bad way. And a lot of people think that once, like my dad said, like once a person is rescued, and that's the end of the equation, na parang okay na, na-rescue na siya, wala na kailangan gawin, pero yun pa lang yung simulan. And I think that's what we're showing is that once a person is rescued, ang dami pang kailangan gawin, ang dami pang kailangan ma-meet na tao, na mga expert tungkol sa lahat ng pinagdaanan nila, and just the whole process of grieving and rehabilitating yourself, and with the help of people who love you. Yeah, it's a tough process, and I know you even talk to the actual survivors. I mean, I personally also went to the centers, met up with the girls. But right, Nourijune, you want to talk more about that?
I actually met a couple of the survivors and even his sister. And they were gracious enough to tell me about their experiences and how they were able to, how they are recovering from that. And I just really tried to get to know them as much as I could. Like what I asked them kung ano pinapakita nila, anong gusto nilang gawin pag nararamdaman nila yun. And I personally dedicated it to one of the survivors because we're the same, cute lang, so we're the same sign, tapos we have the same haircut, tapos we like the same music, and she was also graduating, same with the character. It hits close to home because I'm very close with my siblings as well, and sometimes my brother would just knock in my room and like, you okay? You're playing sad music, do you wanna hug? Iba yung the thing, the bond of family, just knowing that someone is there for you can really help in whatever you're healing from. So much done here. And now we got a question from one of our press from Miss Jenny Pagaliluan. And her question is regarding the cast. Were they picked or dumaan pa ba sa audition, knowing that the executive producer is Donny's dad? So, Anthony, paki-explain mo yung audition process.
put that in the nagpapabayad. No, honestly, when Dean and I sat down, and this thing sparked, right? When we started talking about possibly doing something as an advocacy. Wala sa isip ko si Donny. Wala talaga. Kasi mahirap kausap yan. Dahil maraming project eh, di ba? You really have to choose what it is that you want to do outside of this engagements because it's a lot. So, hindi ko siya inisip, sorry lang. It was Dean who brought it up. Donny. He assumed but it did. By the way, he not just heard, not just directed, he wrote. And when Donny wrote, he had put together. Donny said, Donny read it. So, no audition, but not my choice. It was the director's. I hope you verify that. I think it's Donny when you didn't even work with him yet.
Well, I had a line in with him for the casting, but I mean, I'd actually heard about his work.
As
I think we're. Yeah, like I think when I was first thinking about casting this project, I'd been introduced to Donny's work through a director friend of mine, who's actually directed him in another feature film. And I thought because of like material and because of the work and the work that he put into the advocacy, that it would be like a very long work. And I think the challenge after that was to try to find, someone that could play it. And with Nora, I saw her in an ad that Antoinette Jedon directed for Globe, I guess. Yeah, and I was really like captivated by her performance. And, I saw her popping up in a couple of indie movies and stuff like here and there. And so, I think to complement Donny's like role in it, I really wanted to find someone who's becoming showed like a lot of promise and someone who could really bring the interior world of the very real. Like the very real life issues of rescue stands for. Find a way to internalize that character and to be able to bring that depth to the performance.
All of that is for so much. Yeah.
And I think that also there, it answers the question how this project is special. Right? It's not the ordinary thing that we watch in the cinema, we make profit from it. No, it's more of what the message is. And so with that, let's move on to the next question. It is from Pixie Dolls. For everyone, were you ever in a position where you had to rescue someone? Maybe are you talking about outside the work of call to rescue, I assume, Miss Trixie? But that was the question. Were you ever in a position where you had to rescue someone?
Says what I did. To keep my mind west. And I've rescued hundreds of kids the last 30 years. So I've rescued so many, but in context for what this is about. Care is so important for a lot of the girls because they're making money. And then all of us, the ones that have been actually trafficked, making money. Then they come out of being trafficked. They have no education. What are they supposed to do? Go work somewhere and make some little amount of money. when they know that you make money. So the care afterwards is so important. And then, of course, they need internally, they need care for them, which is the most. One person to follow them through life and say, I'm still here. Work. Good work, team.
Thank you, Dawson. And just to share with everyone, all the way from the United States. So moving on to our next question. Coming from Joel Juanillo from PlingerosPhilippines.com. We've been talking about this, but it's also nice to answer this question. Who are the target audiences for the short film? And what would you hope be the impact to the viewers?
The target is everybody. Because we all know somebody. And to assume that we don't know somebody would be an error. We all know somebody who's been in trouble. Need to be the ones that act. And it's a sad statement. We all know somebody. But if I'm in a room with 2,000 people, men and women, and I say to the women, how many of you have been affected by this? 95% of the women.
5%. I think you got wow. Nararamdaman natin yung bigat, no, ng reality, but at the same time, it brings us more purpose. Why are we here today, shedding light to this purpose of this film? Next question is from Liza B, from LizaWright.com to everyone. Are there any real life bases on the characters' lives in the film? I think Moore mentioned something about that earlier. And let's also ask the others here on the panel about the production experience as well. First, let's answer this, if there are any real life bases on the characters' lives in the film.
Well,
Real life. Like I said earlier, there was this girl and she's also graduating, and I don't want to go into detail about what she experienced, but she copes through listening to music. So I asked for a specific her playlist, what she listens to, and before our scene, I would actually use my earphones and listen to the song. And it really it helped a lot. Visualize.
I think mine would still be real life because I think my character would just reflect those who, the family of these survivors or those. Because at the end of the day, they also have been probably very, very much hurt and emotional about the entire journey of what happened. I think they're going through it with them as well. And they're the ones trying to help them cope. And maybe sometimes they actually don't know what to do. And it's like, it relates to a lot of people. It can relate to a lot of people who know people who are related to people. And they don't know like if they're supposed to do this certain thing or if there's a certain way they can cheer them up or inspire them or motivate them to come out of that dark place. So yeah, I think it's very real and it's just relating to the family and those who are around this person.
It was mentioned earlier in the BTS clip, something about forgiveness and healing. And I think specifically this project, you are targeting that topic, healing and the journey, the process of recovery of someone who was rescued, and the how. We always say forgiveness, heal, but how? And they were portrayed by Donny and Bert. That's yep. So the other part.
Actually, nakaka-frustrate kasi my first experience film-wise that I watched, I think most of the films about trafficking, ala Taken, diba? The traffickers are shut down and the child is rescued and then happy ending. Realize there, we have been with Dawson support rescuing kids last 12 years, dito mismo sa Pilipinas. And the challenge here is, I've seen this, nandiyan na yung bata, pero hindi makapag-recover. Or does not have the legal support to pursue the case. Or had the legal support, had some counseling, but because it was not enough, actually gave up the fight. And even had one case where the child actually took their life for 6 months under care already because the it was just too painful. So I felt that bakit parating rescue na lang? Yung after rescue. And as Dr. said, everyone can play a role. Everyone knows. Everyone can step in with a hug. So it was out of frustration for me. One of the reasons why I felt so important. Right? We need the community's help. Ella reminded me it takes a village to raise child, it takes a village to heal one child. And you're all part of it. I wanted to ask Hannah quickly about her experience because he left during the pandemic. Her school was supposed to be a longer course, but after he reached that had done, she took television production in Australia, but now she supported him as director. On the creative side, so I wanted to ask Hannah about.
I think that what you said has a lot of real life experiences in play because I worked with my brother. And him playing somebody else's brother, I was able to give him proper, a perspective that might help. And we have gone through our fair share of. So it was really an enlightening experience alongside my brother to like kind of bridge the gap maybe between what his vision was and how Donny can execute it from the perspective of somebody who actually knows him. So that was super great because it's the first of many media productions where that collaboration.
Thank you, Hannah. Actually, because I was expecting on the technical side, but that's more of the still the artistic preparation and the connected to the girls. Now let's answer another question from Morris Calio from CTR PH. The question is, how is Call to Rescue Philippines sustained? Do you have regular donors locally? Do you have regular donors locally and from abroad?
Well, Cindy helps us from time to time. Yes, thank you very much for your support. All friends, all community. I mean, this production, even if we're able to slash costs by 100%, thank you, Dee. It still costs us, and it is just friends, clients, partners, children who support it to make sure my wife that was funded. So really, when you call, not enough people are calling and asking. I mean, crying out. There's a bit of vulnerability needed. Di ba kailangan na baka mag-no. So I would say though, out of every 10 that we asked, about 6 or 7 said yes to support this. So there is a need, and there are people who want to fill that, both locally and internationally. She was part of the film.
Akala ko she was part of the donors.
No, but let me ask you a question. How does it feel to play such an important role?
I serve coffee. No. Being there, it's amazing to see everyone's just focused on this project. And I really agree that it's a topic that is not really discussed mainstream. Yeah. Daniel has a question.
Hi there. First of all, congratulations. Sobrang ganda nito for sure. And I am being overshadowed from TV, but also. Okay, question. All right. I think this question goes to Sir Anthony. When we talk about trafficking, usually parang tinitin nga yung sabi, parang ganun lang. But with the age of the social media right now, sobrang dami din ng trafficking sa mga social media. So, ano yung ginagawa ng authorities sa Philippines regarding this?
Thank you for that. Magawa ng short film. Kasi awareness po natin, over 200+% increase online abuse and trafficking in the last 2 years in the Philippines. Can you imagine? Over 200% reported cases. Because it's on-site, but it's also, as you said, online. So first is awareness, because sometimes kids don't even know they're being trafficked already, right? And sometimes they're very own family members who they supposedly rest on, rely on, are the ones involved. Kasi hindi naman sa ako, di ba? Or chimal lang. So may mga ganong klaseng pag-iisip. So awareness is one, and then there's something that Jenny Sati taught me, no? Jenny Sati is a advisor to philanthropy. She's a psychotherapist, philanthropy, billionaire philanthropist worldwide. And she said this: if you're going to do something for any cause, can you do away yung nakakano ko the picture na lang, or the Philippines always shown a certain safe and so independent feelings. I mean, of course, we should feel guilty, but that should not be the focus. Ipakita niyo yung nagtagumpay, na nag-recover, because you will get more support from people when you touch the passion in that. For example, if I ask you for money, sabi niya, and I'll show you a picture of someone who has a tita and is in Africa, I'll give you $1 kasi guilty of it. But if you show me someone who recovered from a situation and is now a dancer, for example, for an amazing production, and you're talking to a dancer, that person will not give you $1. That person will give you 100 because it connects to that person personally. So ginawa po natin dito sa film, and again, thank you Dean, for the story. Ibang angulo naman, yung typical na lang na bang, finish. And Dean's done that not only for this organization, Greenpeace, for example, the most viewed video about Greenpeace, that prophecy, was also created by you. So we're taking something that has been there, but from a totally new angle and with a new community behind it. I hope that makes sense.
Are you also having other organs?
Well, Donny Artista doon sa Phil, mga volunteers. Mr. King is here, in making sure it goes viral. Yes, we will need the support of our friends and of our artists. You can say something? Ella part of the board, yes? Oh, yes. Definitely. We receive a lot of our inquiries on Facebook. For those who actually are cases now, CTR PH on Facebook receives requests for support.
Can I also follow up? Officer Anthony, is this going to be an annual thing, like doing this parang short film, or can you share?
I think the should answer that. Will it be an annual thing? We don't know. But let's get this started. Let's make this succeed. Let's do something different. And who knows what's next?
Sure. I think one of the impetus and the importance of coming together to make this project was to find a way for the largest audience possible to connect with
material that is very specific. As it was mentioned, this is a universal like issue, but sometimes people don't have the angle on the emotional reality of it. Like you preface most of the media, the narrative surrounding human trafficking is very much based on the rescue. And so in creating this short film, we wanted to find a way to make the experience of recovery or integration universal. And that started with, finding characters or themes in a situation that would really speak to that in a universal way. Without spoiling too much of the film, the film focuses on this very critical moment where Noura's character has an anxiety attack right before a graduation party. And, the only person that's there that can really get her recentered is her brother. And we thought that was a really great metaphor for how, the aftercare and the reintegration work could really be beneficial to people. And we use the metaphor of, stage fright and, just being nervous before, like big family and friends like function as a way to, as a lens to view this issue with. So I think that narrative film and these stories are a really powerful way of getting the message across. I think it's a way for an audience, as Anthony had mentioned, to not just feel like the logos and the ethos of supporting an organization like this, but the pathos too. And that's something that's hard to access in this space. Usually there's logos kind of try to play on the numbers to really show you why it's logical and ethical to really support this, but something that I noticed even when we work on the Green Peace project, had a hard time tapping into is what is the emotion of this? How can we illustrate it to a broad enough audience that sometimes a speech or a pamphlet or a website, what are the things of those that can't be expressed in those mediums? And so we hope that this is something that continues, not just for a call to rescue, but I hope that these organizations know and recognize the power of narrative to push forward their own stories.
Thank you so much. Okay, it's really me, but it's just really feels of this room right now in the Zoom. How are you guys? I hope everyone is as excited as us. Thank you, Direk, for doing this. We know that we mentioned earlier that we're not going to accommodate questions outside, but we also mentioned earlier that this film is for everyone, and I think everyone that includes our dumbbell fans, and we have one here in our Zoom. So hello, and this is a question from her, from Claire Santiago. A question for Donny Pangilinan. The series you had, He's and Her, with your on-screen partner was very different from the sweet film. Madali ka bang nakapag-shift from a teen drama to a more serious plot? Dumbbell fans here.
It's like a couple of minutes just in terms of emotions and stuff, as that more that it would be such a hard shift. I think that the hardest thing is just putting yourself in a situation and not with them. You it's something again. It's not a joke. So I think once we come now, it's usually for example, I'm in the series, or in the movie, my thought process kind of is I hope that we will be nice, or I hope that we're able to put out the best content or the content so that there's no reason to do. But here it's more I will give my heart out to this, and I hope people will be able to relate to us. I mean, I still give my heart out to the movies, the kids, but then it's different. It's actually not worth it. Because, I mean, even as well, we did it for free. So, I mean, you guys are amazing. I can't imagine how grateful, we all must be feeling to be able to do it. Well, thank you for yourself, and we just heard the call, so thank you so much for this. That's it. It's just I don't know about it, and I enjoy doing it, even if it was, heavy. Yeah. But more enjoyed by I think your missions. I was really supportive. It was really
Thank you, Donny. Okay, just narinig natin. Donny gave his heart. So if you want to have his heart, you please help us spread make this short film viral. We're down to our last 3 questions. From Marinel Cruz, from Inquirer. To Noor, describe Donny as a co-actor. Was he anything like you expected? No, it was really like working with Donny. And I don't know the expectations from before because I haven't seen I didn't remember. I had no expectations. He's also kind of like my family. His energy. It was fun. It was fun working with him. And then now budget will ease up and okay. And especially when I'm also singing maybe because you live for somebody the relationships be more real. Your relationship with your brother, sister, with the brothers, so yeah, it was fun. It was fun working with him, and he's very passionate about what he does. And I can see it. I feel like, Thank you, Noor. And the next question, since Donny mentioned earlier that you were supporting Noor, the next question is Donny. How did you work on your rapport with Noor?
I think honestly, I'm not used to doing like I have to be close to this sibling, especially like her. So I think a lot of it had to do with just us talking beforehand and making sure that okay, when you talk to showcase, if you want to showcase, of course, being really helped as well. Yeah, it's just really nice the flow, and she's also very serious about her work, and I could really tell that she was really feeling as if she was in the place of a victim, or someone who has gone through so much. So actually, that in itself helps you because that isn't a good, an easy place to go to, and you went there. So yeah, there will be a lot of times where you just do situation and give it. I mean, this is hindi rin mo din namin showcase. Mga nangyayari sa mga lahat na nangyayari. Kasi there's so much going on. But yeah, I think she did great in the roles, as you guys will see, and a lot of people will be able to relate everything. Yeah.
Thank you, Donny. And last question from Marinel Cruz. For both, during the film, what was your most memorable experience?
Ano sa last scene? Yung lahat ng No, the MC, that's all I'm saying. It was just the end. She didn't want to stay, breath of fresh air after everything.
Same, kasi so my closest friends were there to support. Yeah, and a lot of the survivors were also there. Actually, survivors. Yeah, the ones we met and to see everybody come together and people buying homeless meetings, it's good to end it with that. It's very light and I think watching what today. I just like to say this one really has a safe space. So I'm very thankful always the standing around to make sure everyone was okay. And the atmosphere is really love. So it was easy to work. Yeah, the last scene. Last scene. Kinabahan ako baka ma-spoiler. And thank you everyone. We are putting equal importance to two things here again. The journey of someone who's been rescued and surviving, and second, how everyone else as a community can contribute to the holistic healing. It's outside the big corners of a hospital or a clinic for therapy. It's beyond that, And so we really need your help and your heart. Don's heart, please spread it. We need your help to make this thing viral. Again, it's the first film of Call to Rescue Philippines. Let's give more around the applause. Before, I'm excited to buy some lunch. Yeah, but before feeding our tummies, let's focus for the last few feeding of our mind, heart, and soul. Let's hear a message from the Andy.
No, I just want to say thank you. I just want to start. And I want to acknowledge a few people here. Andrea, thank you so much. I think volunteer, PR today, Andrea, and of course, it's here, a long-time volunteer, Pete Cruz, from Call to Rescue, who did a restart workshop and will do more with us for the kids that we have rescued. So maraming salamat po. And thank you guys for your support. Thank you so much. A round of applause for everybody who's here. It's about you guys. Can I just ask that thing to close us?
It's, I say the same thing. Thank you to Call to Rescue Philippines. I can't.
Thank you, Doc Cindy. Thank you. Can we please have a warm round of applause? The magical eye contacts. I have in my head. I know it, but I don't want to see unless they have a cool signal.
We had no plans of doing this project, but sometimes you meet people who give birth to projects, and that's what happened here.
Yun lang yung sagot para maghilom tayo. Is mahalin natin yung isa't isa. And patawarin natin yung isa't isa.
Anti-human trafficking has been something close to my heart. It's nice that I get to be a part somehow of that awareness.
Most of the issues around human trafficking usually involve like the rescue, but an unsung aspect of it involves reintegration. The words of kindness and the support system that you have, that could mean the world to someone, and so that's what the film is about.
Graduation! Graduation!
Graduation!
Graduation! Graduation!
Akala ko babagal yung oras pag nag-marcha na ako. Pero ang bilis din pala, no? Parang lahat ng taon na lumipas. Minsan parang wala na akong maalala.
Gusto mo sabihin kita?
We had no plans of doing this project.
And Instagram and we will. Alam ko kayo, baka meron akong ina-announce na hindi tayo. Okay, tama naman pala. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Alright, and October 25 before we celebrate Halloween. Coincidentally, by the way, it's World Mental Health Day today, and we launched it. It's Destiny, yes, today. And so again, October 25. Before we have our lunch, let's all please stand for prayer before meals. By Noel.